Hi everyone, welcome to my Origami of the Day calendar video for Friday, October 23rd, 2009. And the model on the calendar today is a raccoon. And it uses a regular piece of origami paper but does require us to make some cuts. So gather up your paper and have a pair of scissors handy, and we'll get started right away on this one. This model starts out with the bird base. So let me review with you how you create a bird base. And a bird base actually starts out using a square base. So let's show you that one. With your piece of paper with the white side facing you, fold your piece in half horizontally and vertically. Open it back up and then flip it around and fold it in half in one direction on the diagonal. When you open it all the way up, then you'll find that it's going to start bending in on the that diagonal fold that you just made. So encourage it to do that. Let it collapse down on itself, and it will collapse down into another square. Now, once you've done that, we're going to continue. That's our square base, and then we're going to continue with some more steps to reach the point where we have our bird base. And the first step is going to be to just fold this flap over and back to create a guideline for ourselves so that we're prepared for the next couple of folds. Now, using that crease as your guide, fold each of these corners to the line, into the line, and make a nice firm crease, and fold the tip over, and make a good crease there. Then open them all back up, and this is where we're going to create that, and I'm sure this is where they got the name bird base, because it looks like a baby bird that wants to be fed. You're going to lift up on this, let it bend along that crease that you created there, and then push in on the outside creases. And this is where it looks like a baby bird's mouth, right? But continue, push in, and fold back in the opposite direction along those creases so that it flattens down like this. And flip your piece around and do the same thing on this side, using crease right down the center here as a guide. Fold into that center line just to really give some good creases here. Fold this top piece over once again to create a nice crease. Open them up and then lift this flap, let it bend along there, and then push in and reverse kind of along these creases back in the opposite direction and flatten it all down. So that when you're done, now you'll have two long flaps and a short one at the top, and it will be split at the bottom. And this is your bird base. Now, you've got it split at the bottom. What you're going to do is flip it around so that now the split is at the top. And then fold each of these out into the side. So down and across, and you're doing it right at where it splits, straight across this center part here, and do that on both sides. So down and across on both sides, and then take this bottom flap and flip it up like this. Now the next steps are going to be where we're using our scissors. Now take your scissors and you're going to make two small cuts right at the top here, and you can see I've put a little pencil mark so you can see where they are. Two little small cuts here and here, like so. So I've already actually made them, so one cut and two cuts like that. And then on the bottom, you're going to cut from the tip here up to this point here. So you're splitting this bottom part now in 2 pieces, like that. And once you've made those cuts, then we can basically finish up our raccoon. All right, so here's our finishing touches. On the bottom feet, you're going to fold each one of these across, out and across. So those are his little feet. His arms are going to get a 2-fold treatment. So you're folding them across like this, across the front of his body, and then fold his little hands up like that. And then the last little fold is to take this top piece now and just fold it down. And when you do that, because you made those little cuts, the 2 little points are going to remain sticking up like his ears. And that is your raccoon. I told you it's a little stylized, but that's it. Alright, so that was our model for Friday. Now, Monday is a jack-o'-lantern in the calendar. And I'll show you this because this is another one. We've had this happen 1 or 2 other times throughout this year so far, where rather than this being a model where you can just use any old piece of origami paper and follow along the instructions and come up with the model, this is one of those ones where they want you to use the piece of paper that came with the calendar, and really all you're doing is cutting this out and then folding along the dotted lines. It's not really giving you outside instructions, it's just telling you where to make folds to create this thing, which is good if you've got the calendar. And if you do have the calendar and you're following this, you really don't need my video for help at all because it's pretty much spelled out for you in terms of where you make the folds. And if you don't have the calendar and you're just sort of following along and trying to do some of these origami models, this one would be of no help to you because you're not going to have the thing you need to fold. All that being said, I will not be posting a model on Monday. Because this is just something you can do on your own if you do have the calendar and just follow the dotted lines. So I will see you back here on Tuesday when we'll be doing a model of, it's a rabbit mask. And so have a nice weekend, and I'll see you back here on Tuesday. Bye.